What's up, y'all? Welcome back to Good Game Reviews. Here to do another game day prediction for Week 11. Um, we have New England versus Philadelphia. Patriots at Eagles. Let's just go ahead and jump into it. Uh, there's a lot of things that have gone down, like in the past 2 days, and it's really changed like just the scope of this prediction. Like probably like 4 days or 3 days ago, I thought I had it down. I don't know anything. It's crazy. I just saw a report that came out an hour ago regarding the Eagles, and that's pretty much it kind of changed it, but I didn't change it. So I'm just gonna go ahead and jump into it. As far as the quarterback position goes, we have Tom Brady from the Patriots against Carson Wentz from the Eagles. In terms of passing yards, Brady has the slight edge, but in terms of touchdowns and interceptions, Carson Wentz has like a one kind of like edge on him, like where he has like one more touchdown than Tom Brady does with 15, and he has one less interception than Tom Brady does before. Um, but overall, the numbers the higher average. Tom Brady has a higher average. He has the higher percentage completion percentage. He has that in that regard. He has better. I want to say passer rating. I think it's the passer rating. He has a better passer rating than Carson Wentz. Um, but just the overall numbers kind of speak to Tom Brady's side a little bit more, and a little less to Carson Wentz's side. So I'll just go ahead and give that one to the quarterback. I didn't want to drag that one out too long. As far as the running back situation, now that's the one I really wanted to get into because, like I said, there was a report that came out an hour ago that pretty much changed what I thought in terms of um, who has the edge as far as the running back position goes. Now, if you didn't know, Jordan Howard has pretty much been downgraded to not expected to play. He was questionable already, and now they're saying he's not expected to play. So that either points to doubtful or pretty much out. So come Sunday, we might see him on the inactive list. That speaks to that. It speaks to that even more because before that, either a day or 2 days ago, they pick up Jay Ajayi. So you know them picking him up, his history against the Patriots, especially in that Super Bowl, um, it makes sense. It makes sense why they picked him up. I mean, as far as like this whole season goes, he's been a free agent. He hasn't been on any team. So for them to say, all right, let's try Jay Ajayi again, just speaks to the desperation that they have as far as, all right, who do we need more depth at the running back position because obviously we're not going to have Jordan Howard. Jordan Howard's their best guy. If he was playing, he would be the best guy on the field in terms of running back position. That's counting the Eagles and the Patriots side. But it's looking like he's not going to play. So the starter is pretty much going to be Sanders. Sanders is going to be the starter for the Eagles. And for the Patriots, as usual, it's going to be Sonny Michel. Um, I decided to give that one to the running backs on the Eagle side only because even without Howard, they still have two guys who are averaging 4 yards or more on the ground. So yeah, I have to give it to the Eagle side. And the addition of Jay Ajayi is pretty solid. I mean, don't look at the fact that he hasn't been on the team. He's been a free agent and all that. We know what this guy can do. We've seen what he's done against our team when we haven't been able to stop the run. We saw it in the Super Bowl when we weren't able to when they were just running all over us with him and Blunt. So And the fact that we haven't been able to stop the run and they go and get him out of all people is, I mean, it's crazy. It really is. As far as the wide receiver position goes, this one also has a very interesting development. Yesterday, you would have seen, if you haven't seen or you haven't heard, I'm gonna go ahead and tell you, Alshon Jeffrey, the number one for the Eagles, the number one wide receiver, he is going to be out. So it's pretty much a done deal. He's out. He's not playing in this game on Sunday. You already know Deshaun Jackson is on IR, so we knew he wasn't going to be a factor already. So you got two guys who, if they were playing, could potentially like pretty much put them over the top in terms of like this matchup. But especially with Alshon out now, Nelson Aguilar is their number one. So you got Nelson Aguilar as your number one. That means they're gonna put their. That means Patriots gonna put their best guy on Nelson Aguilar, and that does not. I don't think that bodes well for Nelson Aguilar. So you're leaving it up to a guy like maybe J.J. Arcega-Whiteside, who might get some more playing time because of this. Um, is I don't know. It doesn't really bode well for the Eagles wide receiver room in terms of this game. Um, on the Patriots end, however, it seems like they're starting to get their reinforcements in. You have N'Keal Harry, who could possibly start in this game. I would very much like to see him start in this game. I I was wrong as far as last week when I thought he would, be able to start in this game. I was starting that Ravens game, but of course, it was like the first, week for him to be back. It would be kind of weird, I guess, if you're used to seeing what Belichick does with players. Like he wouldn't start him on that week, so they'll try to give him some more time. I would find it weird. I'll find it more weird if he doesn't start in this game. A lot weirder than the last game, at least in my opinion. I'll find it more weird if he doesn't start in this game, and I think a lot of it will start, boiling up a lot more concerns as far as the wide receiver room because you get rid of Gordon. Uh, he looks healthy, so obviously that wasn't the case as far as his health. I guess it was just his overall, you know, uh, productivity in terms of him on the field and actually wanting to go out there and produce. Maybe that's the factor, but it definitely isn't his health. He definitely looks healthy. So now you have N'Keal Harry, who could possibly start for this game, but it will be weird if they don't because you're simply putting it all on Julian Edelman and Mohamed Sanu again, and I'm not sure how that'll work out. Not saying that the Eagles have the same level of secondary as the Baltimore Ravens did. Not even close. Not even close. But yeah, it'll be weird if he doesn't play in this game. It's only going to bring up more questions. It's only going to bring up more questions. Is he healthy? Why did they activate him? Excuse me. Will he? Is there a chance that he will even start? So, but I find it more likely that he starts this game than not. So, fingers crossed. Uh, but yeah, I would give that position to the Patriots only because they have more. They have more depth. Like I said, N'Keal coming back. You have guys like Julian Edelman and Mohamed Sanu who's out there producing. He's pretty much clicked on pretty fast. Philip Dorsett is out there. He's looking good. He hasn't, been nicked up by injuries as of late. Haven't seen him on the injury report, so that's good. Um, yeah. So I mean, it's pretty much looking good for them in that spot. So yeah, tight end. This is pretty much the easiest one. I can go ahead and give that one to the Eagles. No discussion really needed. Zach Ertz, Dallas. Those two guys, they easily take this spot. Um, yeah. O line. I'll also give that one to the Eagles only because the guys they have starting in terms of tackle and guard and center, it's a better scenario than what we have over on our side. We don't have our starting guys. We still are forced to start Newhouse at left tackle until we can get Isaiah Wynn back for next week against Dallas. We're still forced to start Newhouse. So that's the situation. Can't really do anything about it. Um, it appears that they're going to have all their starting guys out there. Uh, so yeah, they easily take O line. Um, Defensive end. I also gave this defensive end position to the Eagles only because they have more. That side has more production in terms of sacks and tackles for loss. Um, Now, don't get me wrong. You know, you got guys like John Simon who find ways to have productivity in like passing defenses, like pass defended, and he has an interception and all of that, and that's great. But in terms of like sacks, they obviously have the advantage over on that side. In terms of tackles for loss, yeah. Um, the defensive line position. As far as defensive line position, I gave this one to the Patriots only because on the Eagles side, the only guy who seems to be even doing anything is Fletcher Cox. We know how good Fletcher Cox is, but if that's the only guy who's really producing in terms of the defensive tackle spot, I have to give it to the Patriots because they have, while they don't have a guy like Fletcher Cox, they have guys who are producing and putting up numbers in terms of sacks and tackles for loss and stuff like that. So one guy versus three guys like Guy and Butler and Shelton. If Shelton plays, he was on the injury report, so we don't know, his status is questionable. If he doesn't play, that could change what I'm saying right now, and it would definitely be a hit to lose somebody like Shelton at this point. But if he plays, then I'll give that side to the Patriots, the defensive line side. Linebacker, I really didn't have too much of a trouble giving this side to the Patriots, only because they have more productivity in terms of just the statistics. The linebackers on the Eagles side, they don't really have too many numbers to go by. In my opinion, I believe that they're also going to be missing one of their guys, who is I'm not sure if he's a starter or not. But he was on the list in terms of players who are going to be out for this game. So that only speaks to like the depth situation that's going on at that moment. It's like, all right, so who's pretty much going to get the excuse me, who's pretty much going to get more time? Um, Nigel Bradham, he's been downgraded to out. So I mean, yeah. So even though he's not like the best guy, he's not the best. He's not the best guy. If you look at the numbers, it says that Nathan Gary is the best guy. But even looking at Nathan Gary's numbers, they're not better than somebody like Jamie Collins' numbers. So that's why I gave it to the Patriots. Cornerback, I didn't really have too much of a trouble doing this either. In terms of passes defended, Patriots, they easily take the cake in that. Interceptions, they have more numbers than that. Um, the Eagles secondary has been pretty weak, so you can already tell where I'm going for safety. Also, they they have players. They have players. I'm not going to like sit there and pretend like they don't have players. I like Malcolm Jenkins. Ronnie Lloyd, he's been pretty good. He he's leading their team in tackles actually, but I can't give it to them only because they just don't have the numbers. I'm going like strictly by the numbers and strictly by what I've seen as of late. On the other side, Patriots do, have um, kind of like a blow to that side of the secondary with Patrick Chung being out. Um, but I feel like they have enough guys to come in and kind of take over for that, who could easily just kind of fill that spot. Nobody's really like filling Patrick Chung's spot. I'm not saying that in the slightest, but they have the guys who can kind of make up for it in Harmon and in Brooks. So I'm confident in that side of the ball. I'm a lot more confident in the Patriots secondary than I am in the Eagles secondary, which is why giving the cornerback and the safety position to the Patriots is pretty much a no-brainer on this end. Special teams. Special teams was kind of a hard choice to deal with. On one side, the Patriots side, they have all the numbers in terms of the punting, in terms of stopping punt returns, return yards on punts, the punter himself, Jake Bailey. They have all that locked down. But in terms of like kickoff returns and just the kicker position, it kind of points over to the Eagle side. So that was kind of a tough one. I kind of want to split this one in half, honestly. I really do. So I'll go ahead and say like half goes to the Eagle side while the other half goes over to the Patriot side. That just seems like an easier decision at this point. Coaching, the last thing that I like to touch on every video, coaching. Now, Doug Peterson, he did get the advantage over the Patriots in the Super Bowl. Kudos. Go ahead and give him his claps, whatever. But I still think that in terms of coaching, the Patriots have the advantage over on this side. Doug Peterson, I don't know. They've been pretty weird. They've been pretty weird. I'm not sure what game it was that they gave up they had a 17-point lead and somehow found a way to just lose that and lose the game when they easily had it in the bag. I don't know what they was thinking on that. I look back to the Dallas game, which I think was I don't think that was their last game. I think that was probably like the next to last game. But I'm looking at the Dallas game, and it just seemed like the play calling, it just wasn't there. I don't know. It just doesn't really seem like Doug Peterson's year. Now they're trending in a good direction. They are first in the NFC East. He has them in a good spot. Maybe they can hold on to that. But as far as this goes, I don't really see Doug Peterson getting one over on Bill Belichick in this matchup. I'll go ahead and give the coaching position to the Patriots. Totaling everything up, I have wow, this is it actually looks a lot worse than I thought, but I still see this as being a close matchup. I have 7.5 for the Patriots, totaling it up, and I have 4.5 for the Eagles. Score prediction, if I could give one for this game, I could see a 35-20 type situation, Patriots winning the game, just because I don't really trust that secondary, and as far as the Eagles go, I don't really trust their secondary. And if you got Jordan Howard out now, so that kind of is a blow to their running game. And that's really the way the teams have made their money against the Patriots in terms of that running game. The Patriots have not been good against the running game. If you have any semblance of a running game, the game becomes a lot easier for you. But I don't know. Bill Belichick, he's had time to prepare. He's had the bye week, had time to clean up some things. We'll see the improvements that they made, if any, in terms of defending the run. If it still looks the same like it did against the Ravens and the Browns before that, then I don't really know what to say. Um, it just speaks to like that situation that they have. That that big hole. But if they are able to clean it up, it makes the game a lot easier for the Patriots. Other than that, I don't really see any like holes in that situation, especially for them not having to deal with a guy like Alshon Jeffrey, not having to deal with a guy like Deshaun Jackson. It just makes it a lot more easier for them on the passing side. So I could give this one to the Patriots. But that's pretty much all I have for this game. Next week we have the Dallas Cowboys. I'll also be doing a prediction for that as usual. Like, comment, subscribe, drop stuff in the comment box. Let me know what you think. Who do you think is going to win the game? All that good stuff. And I'm out.